The mind is either a tool or a trap. Learn to master it, or it will master you. You do not see the world as it is. You see it as you are. Numbs potential. The more you chase happiness, the more elusive it becomes. Seek meaning instead. A thought unexamined is a belief borrowed. Most people do not fear failure. They fear accountability. When the cost of staying the same outweighs the fear of change, transformation begins. You don't lack time, you lack priorities of what you understand. When emotions control decisions, regret often follows. The absence of chaos is not peace, it is stagnation. Those who depend on external validation will forever be controlled by others. If you never question your beliefs, they are not truly yours. The right path is often the one that requires the most effort. Clarity comes not from overthinking, but from acting and observing. Time does not heal wounds, understanding does. A problem ignored today will return tomorrow with interest. Knowledge is potential. Application is power. Most limits exist only in the mind, yet the mind is what people fear changing most. The weight of unspoken words is heavier than any burden carried aloud. A life lived without self-awareness is merely existence. Every shortcut has a hidden cost. What you fear losing the most often has the tightest grip on you. Discipline is the bridge between desire and reality. The hardest prison to escape is the one built by your own thoughts. You are not punished for your anger, but by it. A man who avoids discomfort avoids growth. The strongest chains are not made of steel, but of routine and familiarity. What you consume mentally will define who you become. People rarely lie to others as much as they lie to themselves. The world is not obligated to make sense to you. Those who seek to control others are often slaves to their own fears. The loudest opinions often come from the most uninformed minds. True wealth is the ability to walk away. Regret is proof that you once had better judgment than your past self. Every habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. Pain is not the enemy, avoidance of pain is. The problem is rarely time, it is how time is used. No one betrays you more than your own unchecked impulses. The hardest battles are fought in silence. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. To control a person, control what they fear. There is no greater burden than an untold truth. Comfort today often means regret tomorrow. Refusal to test it. The inability to sit in silence reveals much about a person. If you never walk alone, you will always be led. A belief is only as strong as the evidence behind it. The most valuable currency is trust. Requires them to change. What you resist will persist until you understand it. You do not break habits, you replace them. Time moves forward, but many people stay in the past. A wise man listens twice before he speaks once. People desire freedom, yet cling to their cages. The worst kind of failure is succeeding at the wrong thing. You are not responsible for how others treat you, but you are responsible for allowing it. The depth of a question determines the value of an answer. What is popular is rarely what is wise. To understand a person, watch what they do, not what they say. Many seek advice not for answers, but for validation. The greatest illusion is that there will always be more time. The inability to be alone is a sign of dependence, not sociability. Most suffering is self-inflicted through the stories we tell ourselves. The best way to predict behavior is to observe patterns, not words. If you want to see someone's true character, give them power. You are only as free as your mind allows you to be. Many people have opinions, but few have understanding. What angers you often reveals what controls you. Seeking comfort at all costs leads to the highest price. The inability to say no is the quickest path to resentment. Not mastered yourself. People avoid change because it threatens their identity, not their comfort. A wise person revises their beliefs as they learn. A fool clings to them. Do not mistake motion for progress. The easiest way to control someone is to keep them distracted. People do not fear the truth. They fear what the truth will require them to change. What you tolerate today will define your life tomorrow. The mind justifies what the heart desires, even when it leads to destruction. True freedom is learning to live without needing approval. You are only as strong as the habits you repeat. The most dangerous lies are the ones you tell yourself. A wise person asks, "What am I missing?" while a fool assumes they already know. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. Time does not change, peer pressure does. Those who cannot sit alone with their thoughts will always be prisoners of distraction. The more you fear losing something, the more power it has over you. A comfortable life often comes at the cost of an extraordinary one. There is no wisdom in avoiding pain. Wisdom comes from understanding it. What you do in secret eventually shapes who you become in public. The path to self-mastery is paved with discipline, not motivation. You cannot change a habit without first changing the identity attached to it. Strength is not found in avoiding struggle, but in embracing it. What you blame controls you. What you take responsibility for sets you free. To be truly independent, you must first detach from the opinions of others.